Hi everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope your week has been fun and productive so far. Before we start, just a quick plea to ask if you do have a few pennies to spare and are enjoying the podcast, please consider making a monthly donation to support the show. All the links to do that are in the show notes. As an independent podcaster, I rely on the advertising revenue to fund the show, and to be honest, it just isn't enough to keep the lights on. And for me, it would be a real shame to have to shut down the mic, as I do really enjoy recording the show and hope that you enjoy listening to it each week. And of course, if you purchase my British Accent bundle, this also helps towards keeping the show on the road. So if you're looking to improve your accent in time for Christmas morning, sign up today and make a start at learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. OK, well, enough of this. Let's get this show going. Section 1. How to sound instantly more British by not saying things properly. Here's a secret few grammar books will tell you. The British accent isn't about perfect articulation, it's about strategic laziness. Yes, you heard that correctly. We don't pronounce every word fully. In fact, we intentionally weaken some of them so our speech flows smoothly. Enter the weak form, the unsung hero of natural British rhythm. What is a weak form? A weak form happens when we take a common word, usually a grammatical one like to, of, for, and, at, and reduce its vowel to the schwa, that tiny, lazy, central sound you hear everywhere in British English. It's how we turn robot English into RP English. Compare these two. I want to go. I want to go. This is too strong. With I want to go. Notice how the to becomes t. Now that's the weak form. You'll hear this pattern dozens of times every minute in authentic RP speech. So here's some common weak forms you need to master. Let's run through a few of the big ones. So we start with the to, as we've just heard. To becomes t. I'm going to London. Don't over-articulate, just relax your tongue. And then we've got for, which becomes f. It's for you. Keep it soft, no strong R either. And then we have of. This becomes either of or a. So you hear it in cup of tea. The v sound you hear is light. It almost vanishes. Then we have can, which becomes can. I can do it. Use the strong form only when stressing ability. I can do it. I can do it. Can you hear the difference? Another one is and, which becomes earn or n. Earn or n. And you hear it in fish and chips. Practice blending it. The D just sort of disappears. And finally, we've got at. At becomes ut. Meet me at noon. Keep the T crisp but light. Weak forms mostly appear in unstressed grammatical words, those little connectors that glue your sentences together. Prepositions to, for, at, auxiliaries, can, have, are, and conjunctions, and, but, or. That's why this is grammar for pronunciation nerds. It's grammar that lives in your mouth. If you pronounce every word strongly, you sound tense, robotic, and dare I say, a bit American sitcom. If you learn your weak forms, you sound relaxed, confident, and beautifully British. For a practice, say the short paragraph out loud. Try to apply weak forms naturally. First of all, I'll say this slowly using the strong forms. So, I want to go to the shop and get a bar of chocolate for my friend at work. Okay, now I want you to say it with the weak forms. It should sound more like, I want to go to the shop and get a bar of chocolate for my friend at work. I want to go to the shop and get a bar of chocolate for my friend at work. It's soft, it's connected, it's smooth. RP isn't about rushing necessarily, it's about rhythm. So weak forms are the glue of fluent British speech. Once you master them, everything else, intonation, connected speech, even your thank yous start to fall into place. If you'd like guided video and audio lessons that walk you through exactly how to pronounce all the different RP British vowel and consonant sounds so you sound naturally British, they're all waiting for you inside my British accent bundle. No endless theory, no drills that make you sound like a robot, just real RP, the way it's actually spoken. Now go forth and practice saying nothing beautifully. learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. Section 2. Weak Forms Quiz. Are you secretly speaking like a robot? Right then, pronunciation nerds, time to test whether you've actually absorbed those weak forms or whether you're still out there saying two and four like a BBC newsreader in 1952. Let's play a little quiz. 8 questions, 1 cup of tea, infinite smugness if you score full marks. I'll put the link to the full quiz in the show notes. Do remember you will need membership to the British Accent Bundle to access the full quiz. But let's do a few of the questions here and now. Okay, number 1. Which sentence sounds most natural in everyday RP speech? Is it A, I'm going to eat? Is it B, I'm going to eat? Or is it C, I'm going to eat? To spelt T-W-O, as you would the number. A, B or C? Yes, it's I'm going to eat. It was B. Okay, question 2. How would an RP speaker typically pronounce for, F-O-R, in this is for you? So is it A, for, that or sound you hear in sort? Is it B, for, the O sound you hear not, for? Or is it C, for, for, or for? This is for you. The correct answer was for, C. The vowel weakens to the schwa. Question 3. Which version sounds most connected, not robotic? So the phrase is pick it up. So do we say it A, pick it up, B, pick it up, or C, pick it up? So A, pick it up, B, pick it up, or C, pick it up? The correct answer was B, pick it up. Why? There's no gaps. The ka links straight into the I. That's connected speech doing its thing. So as I say, the full quiz is available on the website. I'll put the link in the show notes. Section 3. 9 British phrases that confuse Americans and everyone else. If you've ever spoken to a Brit and thought, they can't possibly mean what I think they mean, you're probably right. Here are 9 gloriously confusing British phrases that have Americans, and sometimes even other Brits, completely baffled. Number 1. Sod's law. Sod's law. Meaning Murphy's law in America. If something can go wrong, it will. For example, of course it started raining the moment I left my umbrella at home. Sod's law. So why is it confusing? Americans don't say sod, and no one's entirely sure who he is. So sods is pronounced with that short, rounded o, sod, not sards. Moving on to number 2, a right bodge job. A right bodge job. This means a badly done or clumsy piece of work. The American equivalent could be a botched job. For example, the shelf fell off again. It was a right bodge job. Why it's confusing? Bodge does sound like botch, but it's somehow even more Britishly amateur. Number 3, getting pissed. Getting pissed. Meaning getting drunk. The American equivalent is getting wasted or getting hammered. For example, he got absolutely pissed last night. So why is it confusing? In the US, pissed means angry. In Britain, it means halfway to singing karaoke at the pub. Pissed. It's that short I sound, no drawn-out vowel. Number 4, bagsy. Bagsy. This means to claim something before anyone else. The American equivalent is shotgun. For example, bagsy the front seat. So why is it confusing? Americans can use shotgun. Britons apparently prefer luggage metaphors. Bagsy. It's quite bright. And that soft Z ending keeps it playful. Number 5, that's pants. That's pants, meaning that's rubbish, awful, or disappointing. American equivalent could be that sucks. For example, this coffee's gone cold. That's pants. So why is it confusing? In the US, pants means trousers. In Britain, it means underwear. Enough said. Pants. That's pants. Number 6. There's such a chav. There's such a chav. This means a rude, brash or flashy person, usually wearing too much designer gear. American equivalent could be perhaps a redneck or a trashy person, though it's not quite the same. For example, he turned up in a Burberry tracksuit. Total chav. So why is this confusing? It's a deeply cultural insult. It's class-based and quite uniquely British. Use it with caution. Number 7, he waffled on. He waffled on, meaning he talked endlessly without saying much. The American equivalent could be he rambled. So, for example, the meeting could have been 5 minutes, but he waffled on for an hour. So why is this confusing? Americans love waffles. Brits do not mean breakfast here. He waffled on. He waffled on. Number 8, fancy dress. Fancy dress. Now this means a costume. The American equivalent would be a costume or costume party. So, for example, it's a fancy dress party. I'm going as a pirate. So why is this confusing? Americans think fancy dress means formal wear. The disappointment is real. Fancy dress. And number 9, throwing a wobbly. Throwing a wobbly. This means having a tantrum or getting angry over nothing. An American equivalent could be having a meltdown. For example, she threw a right wobbly when she lost her phone. So why is it confusing? Because what on earth is a wobbly? We still don't know. Wobbly. That lovely British "oh" again. So, if you ever find yourself at a fancy dress party, sitting next to a pissed chav who's waffling on, just smile knowingly and say, "Sod's law, isn't it?" Congratulations, you're officially fluent in British nonsense. And if you'd like to sound as British as you speak, you'll love my British accent bundle, which walks you through every vowel, diphthong and schwa that makes these phrases sound naturally RP. learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. Section 4. Sympathy, empathy, apathy, and the lost art of feeling. Let's begin with a bit of depth, shall we? We toss around words like sympathy and empathy as if they're interchangeable, but in truth, they describe very different shades of human feeling, or in the case of apathy, the total lack of it. All these words come from the Greek root pathos, meaning feeling or suffering. It's rather poetic that English borrowed so many ways to describe how or whether we connect emotionally to others. So we have sympathy. Sympathy, this is feeling with someone. You share their sorrow or joy, perhaps sending a kind word or a comforting cup of tea. I felt such sympathy for her when her flight was cancelled again. And then we have empathy. Empathy. Feeling as someone. You step into their shoes and sense what they're experiencing. She spoke with empathy about people living with anxiety. And then we have apathy. Apathy, feeling nothing, indifference, detachment, the emotional equivalent of a cold, grey Tuesday. He watched the debate with complete apathy, as if it didn't concern him at all. And a few of their distant cousins, we have antipathy, antipathy, feeling against, a strong dislike or aversion. She always had an antipathy to early mornings. And finally, we've got telepathy. Telepathy, a feeling from afar, when you and a friend think the same thing at the same time, slightly spooky, delightfully British. They finished each other's sentences. Pure telepathy. That final "thee" should sound soft and airy. It's not thy. Sympathy. Empathy. And don't forget that middle schwa sound. Empathy. Sympathy. Apathy. Think of it as the polite, understated vowel of English, quietly doing its job without showing off. Say each of the 5 pathy words aloud, naturally, confidently and with emotion. Record yourself and listen back. Do you feel what they're saying? Or are you just pronouncing the syllables? In a world that often seems to reward apathy, maybe what we really need is a little more empathy. Well, that's it for another week. Thanks so much for your company. Hopefully, we'll all be back here next week for another slice of British accent fun. Don't forget the website has lots of free resources as well as the paid training. And I hope you have a great weekend and a great week ahead. All the best. Bye for now.